Home means something different to everyone. But with Rocket Mortgage, home can mean even more. It can mean a college education, taming your high-interest debt, even a renovation. We've made it easier than ever to use your home equity. That home you worked so hard for, now it can work hard for you. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to find out more.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC, licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
The Other Side of Midnight.
77 WABC.
Local Spotlight.
Good morrow, everyone. This is The Other Side of Midnight on 77 WABC. I'm Frank Morano. New York is leading a quiet revolution in politics. For the first time, the state has a record 3.3 million unaffiliated voters, what many other states call independents. Over the past 4 years, their numbers have surged by 12%, or nearly 354,000 voters, while Democratic enrollment has dropped 4% and Republicans have seen only modest gains. These trends highlight a growing disillusionment with the two major parties, and it's something I take personally as someone who's been an unaffiliated voter myself for much of my adult life. These unaffiliated voters are sending a clear message. They're tired of business as usual. They're frustrated with the tribalism, the inefficiency, and the lack of genuine representation. And yet, despite paying the same taxes and being subject to the same laws, these voters are often excluded from meaningful participation in our electoral process, such as voting in party primaries. That's something both Democrats and Republicans need to change if they're serious about winning over this critical and growing block of voters. First, Democrats need to stop doubling down on Andrew Cuomo-style ballot access restrictions, which have systematically kicked minor parties off the ballot. In 2020, Cuomo pushed a rule requiring parties to capture 130,000 votes. That decision didn't just hurt smaller parties like the Greens and Libertarians. It also left many voters feeling disenchanted and pushed them toward becoming unaffiliated. If Democrats want to appeal to independent-minded voters, they need to embrace, not stifle, competition and choice. Second, both major parties should take a bold step and allow unaffiliated voters to participate in their primaries. Right now, independents are effectively locked out of these pivotal elections, even though their tax dollars pay for them. This exclusion not only alienates unaffiliated voters, but also reinforces the perception that the parties care more about protecting their turf than broadening their tent. Opening primaries would send a powerful message. We want you to have a voice in the decisions shaping our state's future. The reality is that unaffiliated voters are up for grabs, and their ranks will only continue to grow. Both parties are strategizing. Democrats talk about focusing on affordability and public safety, while Republicans emphasize cutting taxes and regulations. But no strategy will succeed unless it's paired with actions that demonstrate respect for these voters and their right to meaningful participation. As a state, we're at a crossroads. The rise of unaffiliated voters is a symptom of widespread dissatisfaction with the way politics is conducted in New York. The question now is whether the major parties will rise to the occasion or whether they'll double down on the same exclusionary tactics that pushed so many voters to opt out of both parties in the first place.
Beam me up!
To be continued.
Subtle results, still you, but with fewer lines. Botox Cosmetic, onabotulinum toxin A, is a prescription medicine used to temporarily make moderate to severe frown lines, crow's feet, and forehead lines look better in adults.
Effects of Botox Cosmetic may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness may be a sign of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Don't receive Botox Cosmetic if you have a skin infection. Side effects may include allergic reactions, injection site pain, headache, eyebrow and eyelid drooping, and eyelid swelling. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Tell your doctor about medical history, muscle or nerve conditions including ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects. For full safety information, visit BotoxCosmetic.com or call 877-351-0300.
See for yourself at BotoxCosmetic.com.
The Other Side of Midnight.
77 WABC.
Local Spotlight.
Good morrow, everyone. This is The Other Side of Midnight on 77 WABC. I'm Frank Morano. I'm sure by now a lot of you have heard about this, even if you didn't see the article in the New York Post over the weekend. But there are over 58,000 illegal immigrants who are convicted felons or facing criminal charges roaming New York City. And according to the data obtained by the New York Post, close to 670,000 across the country. Of the 759,218 illegal border crossers living in New York, the feds were aware as of November 17th, a jaw-dropping 58,626, that's 7.7%, were previously convicted of crimes or had criminal charges pending. That's according to U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Now, that's just in this country, by the way. We also don't know what the deal might be in terms of what criminal records they may have in other countries. Now, I don't think anybody thought it was likely that President Trump was going to round up 10 to 13 million people who don't have legal status in this country. But in terms of where to start, this is exactly where to start. This is crazy to me that these people are riding the train and working in restaurants and living amongst us when they shouldn't even be here in the first place. I would ask not only President Trump, but Governor Hochul and Mayor Adams to make sure that this is the first priority for any area of collaboration on immigration-related issues between the city, the state, and the country. These 60,000 people, these are the people that need to go, not tomorrow, today. It's crazy to me that there's this many people. I mean, who knows? Maybe there's a mistake in the numbers or something. I buy this, though. All right. On a positive note, you've been hearing us talk to people on this Giving Tuesday about Shriners Children's Hospital. This is an incredible place. To support Shriners, my friend Sid Rosenberg and the WABC Radio Foundation are teaming up to do a live Sid and Friends in the Morning on January 28th with a live studio audience. That's right. You could be part of a studio audience during a live broadcast of Sid and Friends in the Morning. The first 40 people to go to WABCRadio.com/live show and donate $225 will get access to attend this special live broadcast. Should be a lot of fun. I'm going to try and attend myself. So go to WABCRadio.com/live show right now.
Beam me up.
To be continued.
This episode is brought to you by Factor. Optimize your nutrition this year with Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal service. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved, ready to eat in just 2 minutes. Choose from 40 weekly options across 8 dietary preferences like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Eat smarter at factormeals.com/listen50 and use code listen50 for 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. Factormeals.com/listen50, code listen50. T's and C's apply.
The Other Side of Midnight.
77 WABC.
Local Spotlight.
Did you catch this? Last week, New Jersey's Lieutenant Governor Tahisha Way pardoned 2 turkeys named Prosecco and Pinot Noir in a lighthearted nod to the annual White House tradition. Now, I've talked about the national tradition of the turkey pardon and how absurd I think it is. I think it's just as absurd on a local level, but I guess it's a cute gesture for sure. It also raises an eyebrow or two, because here's the thing. Governor Phil Murphy, who's now in his 7th year in office, has yet to grant a single clemency to a human being. Think about that. The Murphy administration has officially pardoned more turkeys than people. This is particularly surprising for a governor who built much of his platform on social justice reform. Remember, Murphy campaigned hard on issues like marijuana legalization and spoke frequently about addressing these systemic injustices tied to the criminal justice system. Yet here we are, with no pardons or commutations on the books from him so far. Now, let's put this in perspective. By this point in their respective tenures, Murphy's Republican predecessors, Christie Whitman, Donald DeFrancesco, and Chris Christie, had collectively issued more than 24 clemencies, and Murphy stands out as the first Democratic governor since Jim McGreevey not to grant clemency during his first term. To be fair, Murphy hasn't ignored criminal justice reform altogether. He's made notable progress in areas like expungement reform, restoring voting rights to people on probation or parole, and lowering licensing barriers for those with criminal records. Earlier this year, he even created a clemency advisory board tasked with reviewing and expediting clemency applications. Murphy has hinted that we might hear about specific clemencies before the December holidays, calling the program historic. But it's hard not to wonder, why did it take this long? In New Jersey, over 155,000 people are imprisoned on parole or on probation. That's a small number in the grand scheme, sure, but behind every statistic is a human life with a family. I'm reminded of Quincy Spruill's story, which was covered in Politico New Jersey's Playbook in their edition yesterday. Spruill, whose case was championed by the late journalist Michael Aaron, spent 24 years behind bars for a crime many believe he didn't commit. It took years of investigative journalism and a partial commutation from Governor John Corzine to secure his release. Spruill's story is a powerful example of the adage, justice delayed is justice denied. Governor Murphy's historic clemency program might eventually help countless individuals, but one has to ask, how many people could have been helped sooner? It's a question worth pondering as we watch whether Murphy finally acts this holiday season.
Beam me up!
To be continued.
ChatGPT Plus is free for college students through May. Here's the thing. You've got a lot to do between now and then. Studying for finals, writing papers, trying to keep your life on track. And ChatGPT can help with all of it. It can quiz you for your econ exam, make a study guide from your French notes, plan out your meals and study breaks. It can get really specific on how you like to learn. It can even help you come up with ways to stop procrastinating. So from now until summer break, take advantage of all the ways ChatGPT can make your life easier. Restrictions apply.
The Other Side of Midnight.
77 WABC.
Local Spotlight.
New York City is taking a major step forward by expanding its FutureReadyNYC program, a career education initiative that will now serve 135 schools and add 2 new career pathways: heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, HVAC, and human and social services. This is a fantastic development, and I'll tell you why. For too long, our education system has focused primarily on preparing students for college, often sidelining career paths in the trades and blue-collar professions. But the reality is that not every student needs or wants to go to college. What every student does need, however, is a viable way to make a living and contribute to society. Programs like Future Ready NYC are finally addressing this gap. Mayor Adams spoke about this yesterday at a press conference.
Being able to leave school with a skill and you can be employed because you are already getting that basic experience while you're in school. This is just an amazing achievement.
With the backing of a $53 million investment, this initiative connects students to real-world opportunities in industries like technology, healthcare, and now HVAC. The addition of HVAC is particularly noteworthy. This field is in high demand, offers competitive salaries, and plays a critical role in making buildings more energy efficient. Students will gain skills in construction safety, electrical applications, and building decarbonization, knowledge that can immediately translate into jobs after graduation. The inclusion of human and social services is equally vital. It provides students with coursework in counseling, mental health, and psychology, fields that are increasingly important as we face growing societal challenges. Both pathways prepare students not only to enter the workforce, but to excel in professions that are meaningful and impactful. Mayor Adams and schools chancellor Melissa Aviles Ramos have made it clear that Future Ready NYC isn't just about providing job training. It's about creating a pipeline to opportunity, particularly for underserved communities like Brownsville, Bedford-Stuyvesant, and the South Bronx. This initiative is helping students earn college credits, credentials, and even real wages before they graduate. Last year alone, students earned $8.2 million through work-based learning experiences. That's life-changing for many families. So here's to Future Ready NYC. It's giving students the tools they need to succeed in life while also addressing critical labor shortages in growing industries. I say,
Beam me up.
to be continued.